Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Yes, my allergies have been doing the most. Whew. This video will be short, sweet, straight to the point, and let's just jump into Greenleaf. Another good episode. There was a lot to cover, but I'm not going to go and harp on every little thing. I'm just going to talk about a few things that I actually cared about. Charity gets on my nerves. Charity gets on my nerves. Charity gets on my nerves. Oh, I'll say it one more time. Charity gets on my nerves. Oof, that woman. I mean, the fact that aside from being deceptive, aside from trying to consistently go and pry information and get information about Grace. Where is Grace? What is she doing? Who is she talking to? She eventually finds out about Noah and that Noah was there. And so then she has the audacity to go and call Noah, even though she knew she shouldn't have done it, and called him and said, hey Noah, you came down to the church a couple of weeks ago and you didn't go and say hi? Shame on you. Well, send my love to you and the family. Charity is terrible. She is letting Coon Phillip control her and big her up. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of her. She needs to go. She needs to go. At this point, I don't care about what she's going through because this is intentional. This is 100% intentional. And for her, we're done with that. Let's move on to Miss Sophia. So Miss Sophia came back and apparently she's been dipping in and out, getting some stuff without being seen, and Grace sees her. And Sophia was just like, look, I love you, Mom, but we can't talk. And she had a little bit of it too. So Grace was like, oh wait, now what you're not gonna do. And then she said, Mom, you went and did something awful and you're all about self-righteous and you're telling everyone else to, what they can and can't do, but you're not any better. I said, she is better than Mac. Let's not do that. I understand Sophia's in her feelings, but I feel like she's putting 100 on Grace when she can dial it back to an 80. Grace deserves most of it, but let's not act like this family isn't messed up. Let's just not do that. But Sophia is entitled to her feelings. So she's back. Zora knows that she's back. She's at least back for now because she is still going away to school. And Zora she felt a certain way because you just left. You left and you didn't say anything. And so then she made up some excuse why she had to leave again. She said, oh, she's going to see Roberto. And that was a lie because she went to go and see AJ, her brother. I almost said boyfriend because the chemistry was weird. It gave me this weird vibe like, wait a minute. The entire time. So she sees AJ, they're talking, and she is just like her mom. So AJ was right when he was like, you're just like your mom, just like Grace. And she was like, I'm not like her. I'm not gonna abandon someone. I said, okay, all right, we get it. You're upset. You have a right to be upset. So I'm not gonna say you don't have a right to be upset. I'm gonna move on for you. But she still has to go. She still has to go anyway. And they were drinking. She fell asleep and he had this look of, he continued to drink and he put the cover on her, but it was messed up. For a second I felt like, wait, is he gonna try something with his sister? Like, is this not the right person? But he didn't. But he looked very lonely. He looked so lonely even though she was right there. And I felt so bad for him because even when Grace was over helping set stuff up for his new apartment, it is empty. It's empty and there's no one there. And even though he wants peace and quiet, he tells her a bit of his life story of how basically at age 18, the last family that he was with, they kicked him out. And he said he understands it's normal because even biological parents do that to their kids. Like 18, either go to college, figure something else out, but you're not just going to sit here doing nothing. Fair. But they kicked him out. He was like, they had other people to watch. I said, I do believe him. I do believe that there's more to the story, but I do believe him that was overall how it happened. And it just made me feel more sad for this guy. Noah called Grace at the end, told her that he's coming to Memphis, Tennessee because Charity went and called and said, oh, shame on me for not going and saying hello to her when I was at the church a couple of weeks ago. So then he talked to his wife. His wife kicked him out because he told her the full truth about him having a son with Grace. And the wife was like, that was worse than him cheating or him potentially cheating. And so it's just like, so now Grace has to deal with Noah coming back, has to deal with AJ being there, has to deal with her Sophia being upset with her. She also has to deal with Lady May finding out that Sophia's there, and Sophia's like, I'm sorry, I can't explain to you, ask mom. And so Sophia said she's not going to tell anyone, but she won't lie for her mom, but she won't expose her secret. Essentially saying she's going to stay away so that she doesn't have to lie to people's faces. And because even Zora went at her, because Zora called Roberto and to check up on, you can tell that's how alone she was, to check up on Sophia. And Roberto didn't even know that Sophia was in town. Yikes. Which means that now Zora was like, you lying bee. I said, oh no, what we're not going to do is start this name calling again, because I have a couple of names for you. But Sophia kept it cute because she understands she was lying. So this is what she essentially agreed to. And she kept her word. She didn't say anything even though she wanted to. And Zora knows that she was going to say something, but she couldn't say it. And I'm just like, Zora, please give your cousin the benefit of the doubt. Like, this whole family is so super judgmental, and all of you do mess. That's the crazy part. All of you do mess. Speaking of Carissa wants to sell the land. She finally gets Jacob on board. They go and meet the realtor. She knows these cufflinks. Then she goes, has a meeting with Phil at Harmony and Hope, and realizes that, oh, it's specialty cufflinks that I guess Bob gives to all of his associates. And so then that's when she realized, wait a minute. She checked with the realtor again, realized the buyers were the Harmony and Hope group. She knows Jacob wouldn't have went for it because they're trying to take the church back from the group, but you're going to sell a land that's actually owned to the group. And at first I thought she was going to have a conscience tell Jacob, but she went there with him. He already signed, and she ended up signing and acting like everything was okay. And I said, oh, she is trash. I already knew she was. I didn't like her personality. Oh, throw her away. Throw her away. I know that's harsh, but I don't like her. I never did. And now it looks like maybe I never will. Lady May is dealing with a lot. Lady May is always dealing with a lot. And Lady May puts a lot of pressure on Grace this week because they need to go, and they heard some news from Grace that there's this white church that Bob wants Calvary to essentially merge with and take over their flock and all of that. And again, the reality is, traditionally Baptist church is predominantly filled with black and brown people, and minister, practice, everything is different. And so the fear is always, when it comes to even like church and all of that, if you go and not working together, but actually bring in others, especially let's say a predominantly white demographic that does things very differently, that they'll take over, like what has been happening in history. And so that's why Grace was like, ugh. I was surprised. She was a little bit more open to it, which threw me off. I'm like, oh girl, like, we get it, integration and all of that, but this is different. This is something else. Let's not do that today. This is something else. And I'm glad that her peoples were like, Grace, what are you doing? Stop it. So then she put on this rebel-rousing speech about how at the end of the day, rise up from the pharaohs and who are oppressed. Rise up. I said, right. I almost got up off my bed because Grace killed that. She was like, I said, you better you doing it. And Phil and Bob were looking at her like, wait a minute, what? So then Phil and Bob basically met with her in Phil's office and sideways threatened Grace, like, if you continue to do those shenanigans, your family won't have a church to come back to. That's what he basically said. And she was shocked, but she shouldn't have been too shocked, because that's been his MO from the jump. He wants someone like Grace because she Even though she's black, it's clear that she's mixed with something, and she's very palatable for a broad audience, and she's able to sermon and minister to broad audiences, and she's very welcoming and accepting. And because of all of that, he likes her. But again, he likes her as long as she does what he wants. Just like his good old boy Phil, who apparently writes his sermons. I'm thinking, what type of mess is this? And forget that song that Charity had to sing with the Harmony and Hope person. That within itself was weird. That within itself was super duper uber weird. It was so bad. Harmony and Hope, Harmony and Hope, oh, Harmony and Hope. Again, super congested, but you get the whole point. Instead of, yeah, when the power, that's what we're used to. But they give us some Harmony and Hope, but in tune. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Was there other stuff that happened? Of course. Did I care about the other stuff? No. Why are all these people walking right by my car as if they almost walk into it? I guess that's time for me to go. All right. I'll see you next week. I'm sure there's other stuff that I missed. I didn't care about the other stuff though.